Well, anyway, you know, I forgot to tell you, I met this girl last night after the show. And we really seem to hit it off. I think this may be the girl I'm looking for.
Well, fill me in, man. Fill me in.
Well, she's sweet.
Yeah.
Sensitive.
Yeah.
She wants a big family.
Well, so far, she's 0 for 3.
Now, wait a minute. You haven't even met the girl, and you're making a judgment. Can't you give the girl a chance?
You're right. How would she like to smear ranch dressing on her body and jump into a bed of lettuce?
I really don't think that's her style.
Well, you're right. I misjudged her. She's 0 for 4. A message from Mr. Cool. Never date a chick that's not a solid lover.
So what kind of girl do you want? What are you looking for, Mr. Cool?
Well, I'm looking for a dame that doesn't need a hand up her dress to carry on a conversation. Whoa, wait a minute. I take that back.
So, wait a minute. Your mother used to smoke, didn't she?
Only once. There she is again, Benjamin. Do you see her, Benjamin? She always comes back. Doesn't she?
So what do you share with your girlfriends, Mr. Cool? Books, movies, restaurants?
Termites.
So you don't date girls that smoke?
No girl's gonna make an ass out of me. I'm counting on you, Benjamin. Make sure she doesn't come back.
She came to Earth from another world. On the trail of a deadly alien that devastated her race. She was armed with strange powers of the mind and body. He came from the streets. A tough homicide cop who plays by his own rules. By joining forces, they stopped the deadly alien. Now they work together whenever something mysterious, something dangerous, something exciting is out there.
Who found him?
Some kid hopping a freight to Santa Barbara. He's puking right over there if you want to talk to him.
I can wait. $11.
4 more than I got.
What are you, jealous, Buck? Ronnie Trainer, friends at the whiskey.
Last time I was at the whiskey, I saw Jimi Hendrix open for Iron Butterfly.
That's quite a long time ago, ain't it, Buck? Who's handling that murder case, you know, that paralegal over at Broxton? Was that Siegel?
Yeah, that's his.
You know, I remember him saying something about finding tickets on that girl, too. So what, I don't know, but why don't you check that out for me?
Yeah. Sounds like you're really onto something.
Don't hurry, Buck.
Two deaths is not a pattern, Jack.
Then what do you call it? Now, we got 2 blondes. They both go to the whiskey, and they both turned up strangled.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't seem out of line that 2 murder victims had tickets to the hottest show in town.
Well, it's something, Vic. Now, somebody could be going to these shows and picking out blondes. At least it's something to go on.
Hey, do you know what kind of manpower you're talking about? Run a check on every single person that attended every single show.
We're looking at a serial killer. He'll be back, and you know that.
Oh, come on. Look, what if it's some cabbie picking up blondes after the show? I mean, how are you going to account for that?
So, I mean, you don't even think there's a shot here? Is that what you're telling me?
Okay. Okay, you can have 3 or 4 men, Jack, but that's it. All right? Stake out the exits, keep your eyes open. Hey, I don't know what else to tell you.
I'll tell you what, Vic, I'll make a deal with you. You keep your 3 or 4 men and I'll
Hey. I don't want Tara connected with any official police business. Jack, how many times I got to tell you that?
Well, how about if she can home in on this killer's brainwave when he's deciding who he's gonna whack next? I'm still not supposed to use her, huh?
She gets caught, Jack. It's your badge. It's your life. All right, you decide.
All right, look, you see anybody walking in or out that doesn't look right, what are you gonna do?
I find you and come tell you.
Good. Go ahead, get out of here. And look, don't serve any minors. You know, I like this guy. He'd make a good cop. What? You think he's the guy? You think he's the killer?
No. But his entire thought process was devoted to departing as quickly as possible before you found some sort of weed hidden in his back pocket.
Look, we got everybody, right?
Yeah, you're covered. Look, how do you know this guy's even gonna show? You have an X-ray detector or something to check for weapons with?
Well,
Actually, Jack, it wouldn't take long to convert one of those securities cameras, providing there's a crystal electron distributor handy.
What, is she kidding?
she's a science major. Look, Mr. Winkler, I know that we're taking a shot in the dark here.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to scare off my audience. I mean, there's no proof the place is even connected.
They won't even know we're here. Don't worry. Now, look, the last thing you want to do is have someone die who's holding a ticket to tonight's show.
All right, okay. Look, do you have to talk to Ronnie right now? He's got to be on in less than an hour.
Well, yeah, we do, but I'll tell you what. I'll let Mr. Cool slide. Come on, Tara. Mr. Trainer. Hi, I'm Jack Breslin. This is Tara.
Yes, come on in. Mr. Winkler told me what you were doing. How can I help?
Well, we have everything pretty much under control. Just do your act as you usually do, and if anything suspicious happens, you flag one of us down.
So you're a police officer too?
No, I'm a science major.
I was never really good at science.
Hey, Ronnie. Who's this guy?
Mr. Moxley. I don't use him much now that Mr. Cool has caught on.
So that's Mr. Cool.
That is Mr. Cool.
What a fascinating piece of sculpture. Your eyes look so alive, Mr. Cool.
Yeah, well, what'd you expect? Deadwood? Hey, what do you say you ditch these two guys and you and me go out and split a bottle of furniture polish, huh?
You have odd taste in beverages, Mr. Cool, but I find you quite charming.
Well, not bad, and you almost believe that he's not really throwing his voice.
Well, of course he's not throwing his voice, Jack. It's purely a matter of elevating and constricting the larynx within a narrow throat cavity.
You've studied ventriloquism, Dorward?
Just as an adjunct to vocal physiology.
Look, Tara, why don't we get out of here and let Ronnie get ready for the show?
Yeah, look for me. I'll be the guy sitting next to the dummy.
Show up.
A message from Mr. Cool. Never date a chick that's not a salad lover. Are you gonna drink that water?
Well, yeah, I thought I might. I'm thirsty. Do you mind?
No. Why should I mind? Hey.
What?
I was just wondering why you never offer me any water.
Offer you water so you can warp on me?
Why don't you just leave the water trick alone? Give it a rest. It never works.
What are you talking about? The audience loves the water trick. It's tradition.
Well, when it's done right, it's tradition.
Well, can we talk about this later?
You always say that, and then I always end up looking like a dummy.
You are the dummy.
Benjamin. She's here, Benjamin. She came back. Do you see her? She has to die, Benjamin. She dies tonight.
I guess if he would have picked something up, he would have said something, right?
I tried, Jack, but there were tens of thousands of thought impulses to process. It was impossible to single anyone out.
Yeah, plus you had to keep your eye on Ronnie so much of the time. That had to slow you up.
It wasn't a matter of my being slow, Jack. What are you trying to say?
Nothing, except that, well, you and Ronnie seemed to be staring at each other half the night.
What an absurd exaggeration. And why were you watching us instead of trying to isolate your murderer?
I was not watching. I just happened to notice. And, well, every time I looked over at him, I noticed that he was looking at you and you were looking at him.
Police, stay away from her! You all right?
You get anything from this guy yet?
Just a series of those swearing words you use, but spoken in combinations I never heard before.
So what do you like to do after the shows, Murph? Pick up blondes walking out of the theater? I know you're a top-notch strangler. You like to strangle them, don't you, Murphy?
Jack. The body just turned up strangled in an alley on Fountain, the blonde woman. They found a ticket to tonight's show in her purse.
That's him. That's him.
How's it going, Jamie?
We're gonna be at this a month, Jack. I mean, I've gone over 40 people on this tape. I've been at it about 5 hours, man.
40 people. What is that, like 8 an hour?
Mm-hmm.
That's including coffee breaks, right?
Jack, we got over 600 profiles in these books. I mean, that's 40 people I've matched against every one of them. I mean, my eyes are starting to twitch.
Well, then why don't you go splash some water in your face? Because I'll tell you something. We're not gonna leave here till we find this guy.
Well, excuse me. We'll be right back.
This guy. This is gonna take a month.
All right, let's take a look at those photographs.
You're telling me that you could make out every one of those faces?
They were clear enough, Jack.
What about that guy? You sure he wasn't on that tape?
Did you see him?
I blinked. I probably missed 75 people. Tara. Tara, you got a photographic memory?
It's not nearly photographic, Jack. I will remember these faces indefinitely, just for a few days. Here's that fellow Murphy you were just questioning.
Yeah, look, let me ask you a question about that memory thing. Say if I had, like, 6 decks of cards, right?
Decks of cards?
Yeah, cards. They're little square cards. You see, and they have numbers and little symbols, and there are 52 cards to each deck, right?
And these decks can be found in a place called Las Vegas?
Well, yeah, that's a pretty popular place to find them, but you see, what I was thinking was...
And you want me to help you cheat at card playing in this Las Vegas?
You know, I really hate when you do that. I really do. And another thing, card counting is not cheating. It's a respectable way of making a living.
This one was also present at the show, Jack.
Benjamin Kelsey. Benjamin Leonard Kelsey, convicted murder 1, May 73. He served 15 years in a state psychiatric ward. Geez, this guy was released less than a month ago. Hey, Jamie, you should have hung around. You could have been a hero.
You mean you found him?
Jack, the man he murdered, Lawrence Trainer?
Yeah.
That was Ronnie's father. Even if I can tell you for certain that Kelsey is the man we're looking for, what good will that do? You can't arrest him on that basis, can you?
Look, you tell me this is the guy, I'll find a way to nail him.
Yeah.
Mr. Kelsey, Jack Breslin, Metropolitan Police Department. We're investigating a murder that occurred last night, and, well, we were wondering if we could ask you a couple of questions.
Can I see your badge, please? Yeah, okay. Just a second, okay? Yeah, hello, homicide?
Yeah, do you mind if we come in?
Just a second, okay? Yeah, hello. Do you have a detective,
Jack Breslin.
Jack Breslin, badge number 3724?
2-4.
Yeah, okay, just a second. Hey, officer, what's your name?
She's not a police officer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's all, thanks. Who are you?
I'm Tara, an interested observer.
Look, I just want to ask you a couple of questions, Kelsey.
Hey,
This
listen.
won't take long.
Oh, you're not a shrink. Are you a shrink? Because if you're a shrink, that's against the law.
I'm not aware of being a shrink.
Just, I've been observed all my life. You probably know that. That's why you're here. So you want to see something, why don't you go down and take a look at the museum?
Look, I'm telling you, Kelsey, she is not a
Yeah,
shrink.
look,
okay?
you know, I mean, it's just I don't need any interested observer either. So why don't you just wait outside, honey?
Nice place you got here. I spent a lot of time vacuuming.
Is that against the law?
No. As a matter of fact, I hear it's good therapy. Maybe I ought to try it, eh?
What do you want, detective?
I just want to talk.
About what?
Lawrence Trainer. I was wondering if you could tell me why you killed him.
He wasn't well. You know that.
How does that work? You were insane, you're not now? You remember killing Lawrence Trainer? Or why you killed him?
I know what my psychiatrist says.
But, well, what do you say? You didn't like the guy because he ate Twinkies, or what?
All right. I've been real patient with you, okay? I paid my debt to society, and you have no right. Now, I want to know, what is this all about?
It's about 3 people being murdered after leaving the Mr. Cool show.
What?
3 women, blonde women. You don't have anything against blondes, do you, Kels?
Are you accusing me? Is that what you're here for? Am I under arrest?
No. I just think that it's a little crazy that, no offense, of course, but I think it's kind of crazy that you killed Lawrence Trainer, you get released from the bin, and then you show up at his kid's show at the Whiskey. That's without mentioning the 3 blondes that died.
Hey, I can go anywhere that I want. I'm allowed. I'm a free man. But if it makes you feel any better, my psychiatrist sent me to those shows as part of my therapy.
What, the vacuuming wasn't working?
you can stop trying to bait me, because I'm not going to snap and blow your head off with your own gun.
Listen, Benny.
Ben.
Okay, Ben. I'm not a doctor or anything, but, well, you seem a little intense for a guy who just got a clean bill of health.
It doesn't work that way. I spent 15 years in an institution and just come out and be...
Normal?
Would it be better if you came here, a homicide detective, asking me questions and I was joking and laughing? Huh? Would that be normal behavior? And do you know of anybody who wouldn't be a little nervous and intense in this kind of situation? Well, the bottom line is, I did something wrong because I was sick. And the court judged me sick. Now I'm well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Did it ever come out why Kelsey killed your dad?
He's crazy, didn't he tell you?
You don't sound like you believe it.
Oh, no, I believe it. For 6 weeks, I sat in that courtroom, listened to every expert testify to Kelsey's abused childhood. How he was not allowed to have any friends. How his father used to lock him in the closet for hours. His mother used to give him cigarette burns for not saying please and thank you. And I remember sitting there looking at that guy thinking he was pathetic. Knowing he was sick and hoping with everything that was in me he would not be found insane. He killed my dad. I wanted him gassed.
Look, Ronnie, if you don't want to talk about this, we don't have to.
It's just so strange what you remember. My friend Barry and I were watching Twilight Zone reruns that night. The night he was killed. I remember Barry listened at the door as the cops came to tell my mom what had happened at the theater that night. And then he told me. Then we just sat and watched the rest of the show. There was about 20 minutes left. I haven't talked to Barry since that night.
Your father was also a ventriloquist.
He was?
He created Mr. Cool.
Mr. Cool was in your father's show? The same exact dummy?
Hey, who you calling a dummy?
I'm sorry, that's like the first joke you learn. No, one day I was just going through my father's trunk and there was Mr. Cool. I don't know. Just felt right.
Well, we're gonna go pay Kelsey's psychiatrist a visit and see what we can come up with on this guy.
Well, maybe I can go through my father's old stuff. There might be something there. I don't know.
Oh, I could do that with you.
Well, didn't you want to come with me and ask the doctor those questions you told me you wanted to ask?
You can ask them for me, can't you, Jack?
Well, I can try. I don't know if I get the information you need, but I'll just try. Look, how are you gonna get home? I'm gonna be gone a while.
I'll be happy to take her home, Jack.
Oh, okay, then I'll just go pay a visit myself, and I'll see you home later.
What are these other names?
Other acts on the bill. My dad was real good, but he never really had the right partner until he came up with Mr. Cool. Yeah, Mr. Cool was gonna change everything. He was just getting hot. Getting some really good reviews. I think those reviews are around here somewhere.
Who's this?
Oh, now that is Stanley, my dad's first partner. Stanley, the 7-year-old boy. Hello, Stanley. Hello. Hello. You go to school, don't you, Stanley? Oh, yes, I do. Yes, well, how do you stand in class? Oh, I don't stand. I got a chair. Well, probably explains why my dad was never a headliner.
But how do you manipulate his facial expressions? He looks so real.
Oh, well, let me show you. It's back here. This turns the head, and if you stick your hand around like this, that's the mouth, eyebrows, eyes. You want to try?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Stanley, how do you stand in class?
I don't stand. I sit in a chair.
No, I'm not funny.
Well, don't quit your day job.
Well.
You know, I don't think this is helping Jack very much. How could you think about Jack at a time like this?
What are these?
That is every fan letter my dad ever received. I remember he used to read them to us over and over again. I think he couldn't believe that somebody would actually take the time to write him. Dear Mr. Trainer, last week I saw your performance in Atlanta, and I found you very entertaining, even though I am sure that I saw your lips move on at least 3 occasions. Sincerely, David Miller. I remember this one. My dad stayed up all night long in front of a mirror, just...
Hey.
I hear this is a pretty funny show.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, is Dr. Harmon going to be able to see me anytime soon?
Yeah, she's still on the phone, but she knows you're waiting. Mr. Breslin, Doctor will see you now.
Oh, thanks. Dr. Harmon?
Would you mind telling me, Detective Breslin, what possessed you to bring along a police psychiatrist to question Benjamin Kelsey?
She wasn't a police psychiatrist. I told him that.
Benjamin told me different. What am I supposed to believe? You went up there to talk about a murder with your girlfriend? I can check on that while you're sitting here.
Look, Doctor, that's not what I came to see you about. Now, I've got 3...
What I understand, Detective, is that you've got 3 murders and Mr. Kelsey has gone to a show.
2 at least. Now I've got 3 dead blonde women. And I'll tell you something, Dr. Harmon. I've seen them. And when I walked through that door and I saw you, well, it's not that you look like them, but, well, you basically have the same build.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Well, I don't know, but don't people do that? Don't they, well, don't they take out their aggressions on something or someone symbolic?
So what you're trying to tell me, Detective, is that Mr. Kelsey is murdering his confessor, me, over and over again?
Well, isn't that possible, Doctor?
Please don't play psychiatrist, Detective. Mr. Kelsey has gone to those shows because I made him go. Because I don't want him to be afraid of a pile of wood shavings for the rest of his life.
Wood shavings? What do you mean, wood shavings? Does that have anything to do with the dummy?
I'm not about to discuss Mr. Kelsey's case with you. But if you cause any setback or emotional damage to my patient, I will personally...
Patient?
Outpatient.
I thought he was cured.
Mr. Kelsey is an outpatient. Mr. Kelsey was sick, now he's well. I say he's well. This hospital says he's well.
Well, I hope so. In the meantime, Doc, if I were you, I'd skip the Mr. Cool concert. Doc? Well, what are you still doing here?
Oh, Ronnie was called by a local television station to do an interview, so I accompanied him.
How nice. Did you have fun?
Yes, but come in, Jack. Ronnie and I discovered something you should know about.
Hi, Jack. I think I'm familiar with that discovery.
How could you be? I haven't told you yet. Whatever put that concept into your mind?
Well, you're here alone for 4 hours with a guy in a towel. How's that for starters?
He hasn't been in a towel for 4 hours. And if he was, wouldn't that make your theory an impossibility?
All right, so what's the discovery? What is this?
These were in Mr. Trainor's trunk.
Mr. Cool is much funnier than Sloppy Joe. You're making a terrible mistake. Mr. Cool is so much funnier than Sloppy Joe. back to Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool says that he wants to talk to me, but you won't let him.
It appears that Kelsey believes Mr. Cool spoke to him, as if they had private conversations.
Well, that explains something that Kelsey's psychiatrist told me. How do you know that these letters are from Kelsey?
I found his fingerprints all over 3 letters.
How do you know that fingerprints on these letters are Kelsey's?
I saw Kelsey's fingerprints at the police station. Jack, you were standing right there.
Wait a minute, are you trying to tell me that you can remember a fingerprint well enough to make a match?
Not indefinitely. Jack, we've already been over this.
Jack, did you take a look at those letters we found? Where are my faucets?
Well, Ronnie, it appears that somebody has a fixation with Mr. Cool, and, well, that might be able to help us.
No, forget it, Jack. No way I'm going back on stage with Mr. Cool. I'm not going to be responsible for anybody else dying.
Look, Ronnie, I know how you feel, but if we bench Mr. Cool now, we may never get this guy.
You just have to come up with some other way. I was just thinking. Really, I thought I smelled wood burning. No. No, don't interrupt me now. I said I was just thinking maybe I ought to retire, you know? Maybe stay at home a while, do some reading, maybe take up gardening. Really? What can you grow in a trunk?
Mr. Moxley doesn't seem to be scoring too well with Kelsey. We'll tell him when the show ends, see where it goes.
Don't you think you'll notice a couple of people tailing him, Jack?
Well, yeah, you might be right. Well, it's not like you have to tell him. I just don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to drop you home.
Well, that's all right. Ronnie and I are going to get something to eat.
What is it with you and Ronnie? TV interview, then the towel, now you got a date with the guy?
So if you didn't have television, what did you do?
I mean, not that I care because, well, I really don't.
Converse. They used to talk.
But that's what it is, a date.
What, when 2 people go and eat something together, that's a date?
Yes, that is right.
And it's wrong to date?
Well, sometimes. It depends.
Is it wrong when you and Victor go out on dates?
Hey, Victor and I do not go out on dates.
Well, yes, you do, Jack. I've seen you eat together many times.
What was the last book you read?
I'll have a great time.
Behind the Scenes of Gilligan's
Maybe I'll
Island.
get lucky and Kelsey will drive through a jack-in-the-box.
Hey, Benny! What'd you think about the show tonight?
It was very good. Thanks for your concern.
You know, I don't know. I'll tell you, I really miss those messages from Mr. Cool. I mean, you've seen a lot of these shows. Ben, let me ask you something. Do you think the show place is good without Mr. Cool?
Yeah, it was just fine.
You really think so, huh? I'll tell you, for me, Mr. Moxley, he doesn't have it. I mean, he's not a star. You know, I was thinking maybe I should write a letter to Ronnie Trainer and tell him to bring back Mr. Cool. What do you think, Benny?
Ben, or Mr. Kelsey, those are your 2 choices. And I thought Dr. Harmon spoke to you about this harassment.
Hey, calm down, Ben. We're just shooting the breeze here, that's all.
Well, I'm allowed to go to these shows. I can go to the movies, and eat in restaurants, and date women. Why can't you just bury the past?
Because I'm too busy burying bodies.
Coffee. Excuse me, miss, this is not a line, but were you at the Ronnie Trainer concert at the... Doc Harmon,
I'm warning you, Detective. I've already talked to the attorneys at the hospital, and they've contacted your police department.
Look, Doctor, you could speak to anybody you want.
You don't want to lose that badge of yours. You keep away from Benjamin Kelsey.
Kelsey obviously wants you to perform solely with Mr. Cool.
Well, he sure got that message across, didn't he? Just like he did with my dad. Mr. Moxley was my first puppet. I mean, he never really caught on, but he was always my favorite.
Can he be reassembled?
Well, yeah, but it's not like I'm going back out there again.
Look, Ronnie, I know how you feel. But Mr. Cool here may be our only way to draw Kelsey out.
You know what, Jack? I'm no hero. I mean, this maniac has killed 3 people, and he broke into my dressing room and destroyed a puppet. So what's to say next time he doesn't come after me? I'm not going back on stage again. And I'm putting Mr. Cool in the trunk.
You and Mr. Cool have sold out the whiskey for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, you don't think they're coming to see him, do you?
I'm just trying to be polite, Mr. Cool. But how does it feel to be gaining such widespread acceptance?
Well, I'm surprised, because I thought we were going to have to cancel out the engagement because nobody would show up.
Well, it certainly seems, Mr. Cool, that you've hooked into the hearts of the public.
Well, I guess they know a good piece of lumber when they see it. Maybe when we're done, I'll show you what I mean.
Well, I'm not sure what my husband would say about that, Mr. Cool.
Just my luck. This tape you're watching, Benjamin, is the end of my life. He's gonna lock me in a trunk, Benjamin. Just like his old man tried. Alone. In the dark. You know what to do, Benjamin. Do it tonight.
Hey, Ronnie, it's me, Jack Breslin. Can you tell me how long ago Tara left? Oh. Oh, no, you don't have to. Hi, Tara, how's it going? Oh, a movie, that's great. Yeah. Look, let me ask you something. You're not holding hands with this guy, are you? No, I'm only kidding. I am only kidding. No, have a great time. No need to rush at all. Yeah, I'll be here. I'll wait up for you. Yeah, I'll see you later. Look, you're not gonna take long, right? Yeah.
In other news, the House, weary from more than 3 months of...
It's been great having you both here.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. And good luck on the rest of your engagement, Ronnie.
Thank you.
And you too, Mr. Cool. Not that you'll need it.
Well, even Mr. Cool likes to get lucky now and then.
Jesus.
Dr. Harmon?
Benjamin, you went to the restroom. You didn't come back.
Yeah, well, you were talking to that detective guy, and I didn't want to deal with him, that's all. Listen, I was just leaving. Can I call you when I come home?
Benjamin, I want you to know I understand exactly how you felt. Now, you have nothing to fear from Detective Breslin. You didn't have to run like that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm a little bit late. Can you come back? Why don't you come back?
Late? Late for what? Are you going somewhere?
Doesn't matter where I'm going. I'm allowed to go anywhere I want.
Well, of course you're allowed, Benjamin. Now, wasn't I the one that supported you in that? Look, let's go inside and talk, all right?
No, I gotta go.
Benjamin, I haven't seen you this agitated in a long, long time. Now, what is it? Please, talk to me. Come on now.
Kelsey.
Kelsey! Jack Breslin here.
Dr. Harmon.
I appreciate your allowing me to prepare the popcorn, Ronnie. For some reason, Jack never lets me do it.
Where's Ronnie?
Ronnie?
What do you want, Kelsey? Why are you doing this?
Because he wants me to. You so stupid you don't understand that? It's always his decision.
Benjamin, he's not real. Look. He's nothing but wood and painted paper mache.
You know, Dr. Harmon, I didn't want you here. I left you in my apartment. I told you to stay there, and you keep coming back. You know, he is so right about you. You want me to get rid of them both? Is that what you want? Well, it's always his decision.
Put the knife down, Ben. I changed my mind. A message from Mr. Cool. Do you hear me, Ben? Put the knife down. Don't hurt anyone. Don't hurt anyone.
You don't call me Ben. You never call me Ben.
You know they're trying to trick you. You know what to do.
You gotta die.
Another message from Mr. Cool.
Is that better?
Better. Thanks. You know, I'm going to be playing San Francisco for the next 10 days. You think you could come and see me?
I'd like that very much.
Yeah? I mean, you're not involved with Jack or anything, are you?
We live together, is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had in mind.
Oh, you mean as it pertains to a romantic relationship? No.
Oh.
Hey, Jack. What are you worried about? He leaves town in the morning.
That's funny, it's all right. No, really.